Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, corn dog lovers of all ages, welcome to In the Box with your hosts, Matt and Adam.
Everybody get.
Yay, the corn dog wins.
The corn dog always wins.
Of course. Even if we're not doing the spinner wheel or picker wheel, corn dog still wins.
We could have more options on there, which one of the best moments of In the Box had to do with the picker wheel and corn dog.
Yeah. Picker wheel wins, corn dog wins, everything wins.
I think we all win in that situation.
Welcome to a show that's 4 days after our last show. And that is because there is... Where'd you go?
Oh, hang on a second.
All right. That's because we had
I'll be right back. All
right. Matt's going to be right back, which is a perfect way to start a show, if you ask me. Happens. So everyone can still hear me. Welcome to In the Box Tuesday night. But there is a wave game on Friday night, which is why we have the show tonight, because it's the only other night of the week that I can do a show. So it was either not have a show after the busiest weekend in maybe in MASL history, maybe not, depending on who you ask. So we decided to do one tonight and not have one close to this weekend. So there's that. And that's why scheduling is going to be interesting this season, because there are Friday games, and I usually only have Tuesday nights or Friday nights. So we may have a Christmas present for you on 23rd December. Hey Jack, how's it going? Put your chat up here so I don't feel quite as alone. We have to teach Hannah not to call Matt when he's on the show. That seems like her perfect time to call. So how many games did everyone watch this weekend? There were 11. Is that right? Yeah, there were 11 games. How many did I watch? I was at one. Watched most of that one, part of that one, none of that one. What I'm counting on my finger. Watched that one. Fast forwarded through most of that one. Watched most of that one. Most of that one. Most of that one. I watched almost all of them. Definitely watched both the Milwaukee Wave games, and not as happy of one as I was of the other. Who else is out in the chat? Say hi. I see there's 5 of you. Can't hide. Who tells all except for who it is. Number. Spiked up from 0 to 5 and back. So yeah, this is where I just find things to talk about on my own. Let's see, where do I want to start with? Matt doesn't have. Should I start with a joke? Should I start with a 20-minute joke and see second time? Wave fans, we had our home opener on Saturday the 10th. Decent crowd, 3175, I think is what it was. It's not on our biggest crowd. Oh, Matt's back. Thanks for joining us, Matt.
Yes, I'm the guest for tonight.
Welcome, our guest is here.
Yeah, it's me, guys. It's me. I gotta tell you, I have had one of the best weekends ever. Both in and out of indoor soccer.
Did you try to call me on Facebook while I was live?
Yeah, I accidentally hit. Yeah, so yeah, I accidentally did. Yes. So, can you do me a favor? Are you on the MASL soccer website?
You know me too well. Yes, I am.
Okay. First of all, let's just get that out of the way. How's the weather?
Right. Uh-oh.
I
AccuWeather
think
has
Phillipsburg.
shifted spots. It used to be first on the MSL partner list, and now it is third. Canela Deportes is the Spanish broadcast channel, I think out of Canada, doing U.S. Soccer games, then Twitch, and then AccuWeather. The weather in Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania is 22 degrees with a real feel of 28.
I'm mildly confused about that, but okay. It must be so. It must be the humidity is pretty high.
Maybe it's in the
So that
sun.
would make it, maybe I
Air
don't know.
quality is excellent. Winds are east to northeast at 1 mile an hour with gusts up to 1 mile an hour.
Wow. I got to tell you, Phillipsburg, be on the lookout for a storm coming Thursday or Friday.
They say snow 3 to 6 inches, ice a quarter to 1/2 of an inch. Those are not good combinations.
We're looking at the same. And you guys are looking at, I think, mostly snow, if I remember correctly.
83%. You guys is in Milwaukee area?
Yeah, yep.
I think we're getting rain. I think we'll get a little bit of snow, but then the temperature will drop another 10 degrees, which will be great.
Yeah. So, okay. So now that we got that out of the way, can you go to the standings page?
Oh yeah. I was gonna use this as the backdrop for the thumbnail. This is obviously a misprint.
I got to tell you, I don't care who the teams were that Utica played. And you know what? Who had Utica and Mesquite in first place after week 3?
With win streaks of 2. Oh boy. Keeper, Scorch, and Brad Beach are here. Hello all. Brad, you did not stop by my section and say hi yesterday or Saturday. I am disappointed and I cried. Maybe not.
I had Keeper came over before the game started and was very excited.
Did you teach him how to spell Utica?
I did not. Ironically enough, he did sign the flag that the Keeper's corner has.
Oh.
Yeah. So maybe he did sign it UTCIA. I don't know. But
so did they name their show after him? Like Crystal Ball like, or did he name himself after the future? Or the show?
I don't know. It's an excellent question. I'm sure he has some sort of answer, or may not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so the indoor soccer thing, we're in first place. Season's ended. That's what I've heard from the commissioner. Utica will be the number 1 seed. Also, yesterday, I don't know if you followed this or saw this, the national championship took place for men's soccer, men's college soccer.
I did see that, and I didn't know what that was until I saw your post and Philly's post, and I was like, I don't know what this means. And then I realized it was college soccer. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So Indiana University, alma mater of Christian Philly Philemon, and Syracuse University, not my alma mater, but it's geographically close by. And I mean, I go to football and basketball games and things like that. So I do root for the Orange. Squared off last night, and Syracuse won in. I got to tell you, I'm glad I took those edibles before the show.
Go to chill.com, 20% off of using. Oh, actually, they're not I don't think they're a sponsor anymore. Does the code still work?
Well, we haven't heard about it. Yeah, I don't know, but
I may need those for this.
Yeah, they won in penalty kicks.
Oh,
so it's a pretty interesting finish to the game. Congrats to both teams for making it that far. I was not expecting a video, but
so The Saturday night game. So okay, December 10th is a Saturday. That was the holiday game with Santa and elves, and Ben McNeil was dressed like an elf pirate thing. It was weird. If you go to Milwaukee Wave on YouTube, look up the highlight video, and he showed up first. But there's a game Friday night, December 16th, which is closer to Christmas, but that's not the Christmas game. I don't know.
That doesn't make much sense.
I don't have an answer. But so Utica's on a win streak of 2 games. And right now,
hottest team in the league right now.
If the playoffs were ending right now, Milwaukee and Baltimore would be playing for the last spot in the playoffs. Because it's 4 and 5, right?
Yeah.
Or is it 3 and? No, it's 4 and 5, not 3 and 5.
No, it's 4 and 5. It's 5 at 4.
Right. And then Tacoma would be at Chihuahua for their spot in the West. And then Florida and Harrisburg would be out of the playoffs, and Empire and Dallas would be out of the playoffs. If the season ended right now after 2 games. Or 4, depending on which team.
Let's do it. I mean, we wanted Florida out of the playoffs anyway, so what better way to do it than to just do it now?
But, yeah. What's funny is Florida would be out of the playoffs undefeated. Because every team in the East has played at least 2 games and has at least points in 2 games.
Well, that's their own fault.
So technically, if you look at just the record, Florida has the best record in the league, but they would be last because they only have 3 points, or second to last because they only have 3 points instead of
that's fine
4 forever. Yeah. So yeah, I was looking through the games. There were a couple I didn't watch. I did not watch Florida at Baltimore.
I watched a little bit of that one.
The UCFC at Harrisburg game, I couldn't stand. I forced myself to watch a full quarter. That was a hot mess. That broadcast was a disaster.
The broadcast was a disaster. I don't know how the turf can get worse, but I don't think, and I told the guys this, I don't think the ball rolled at all. Once.
A friend of mine sent me, or actually it was the Wave Chat. Eric Christian, I think, sent me an outdoor game in the snow where a guy kicked the ball and it rolled and stopped on the goal line. Whereas if there wasn't any snow on there, it would have obviously gone right in. But he had a tap in goal where the goalie was way out of position, and it just rolled and stopped. And the defender came and picked it up.
Yeah, but that field, I don't know. I think the sponsor that does the turf, it was a good game.
I'll have to watch that one.
The Florida Baltimore game. Yeah, Florida Baltimore was good.
Maybe that's what I'll do tonight because my pool table is in pieces right now.
Yeah, I think we knew it was going to be a good game. We didn't expect Drew Riggles to score 3 goals. I don't think that was the key right there.
So if you listen to MSL Monday, here's your cue. If you listen to MSL Monday today, you may have heard some different things in the background. But you may have also heard Brian Ackley. So this is a comment in general. Just because someone has a lot of experience playing or coaching or covering the sport or has a lot of knowledge in the sport does not automatically make them a good broadcaster. We'll talk about the mess in Mesquite in a little bit, and that's what I'm mainly referring to. Brian Ackley has a whole ton of knowledge about indoor soccer, but his monotone voice that has no emphasis on the goal for his own team, it's hard to listen to. But I did listen to the whole thing, and one of the things he said was that Drew Ruggles could potentially be a 30-goal scorer, 30-goal a season scorer, but because they put him on defense and he's so powerful on defense and such a good defender, that's why he's not in that position. They could move him up to midfield, and he could easily do that. On the Wave, he used to take all of the what I used to call the left-footed restarts. I think Art Kramer used to talk about that a lot. And the Wave has been kind of lacking in that since he left, because he used to sit down in the corner like on a top of the arc restart, or even yellow line or further on, and they would just dish it to him, and he'd find a way to score almost every time.
But well, I mean, so on that field in Baltimore, I think anyone can score multiple goals. I mean, geez, Andrew Coughlin scored 2 goals against Baltimore.
Yeah, but if you saw Drew's goal, did you see his karate kick goal?
Oh yeah.
I mean that, and shame on you, MASL, for not putting that on goals of the week. There's no, like, nobody cares about upper 90 shots from the yellow line if there's going to be 5 of them that all look the same. Pick the one that was the best, or the one that has the most impact. Fortunately, Lucas Souza probably wins my vote for that. Unfortunately, and I hate to even say that, because I thought his goal was the best, and it was in overtime, and never. But you got to put something like Drew Uggles' goal in there.
I have to ask you, since you mentioned it, what was the outcome of 3 of the games on Sunday? Well, one game was not.
I didn't set this up because you can't hear it, and I figured you wouldn't care about it as much.
Well, I watch. I'm a frequent listener to the show.
Oh, I don't know. So 3 games were in, and let me just show the graphic, because it has more of a that you'll be able to experience almost in real time. So 3 of the games,
like I'm there,
went into
overtime.
And it was the last 3 games on Sunday.
I was going to bring that up as a separate thing. I think starting, I know schedules are hard in this league, and I know it's arena availability and the whole thing, but I think it was tough to have the first opening weekend for a lot of teams be back-to-backs, because you had a 1-2 game and 2 3-4 games, or score-wise. And we were just talking about a 2-1 game the other.
That was the front end.
We were just talking about a 2-1 game last week, and it was the first time since 2019 when the Wave beat the Blarst. And then we had just another one the week after. But
which, if we're going to talk about that later, I will save my opinion for later.
Okay.
On that game.
Yeah, we'll talk about the actual games. I do want to. So you know what? Why don't we start talking about the game? Florida Baltimore, we kind of talked about. I don't have much of a say to that because I didn't really watch it. I've seen some highlights, but I will go back and I'll probably watch it tonight.
Yeah, it's your typical back and forth game at CQ Arena between 2 really good teams. Baltimore almost pulled it off at the end. I think they scored with like 8 seconds left or something like that to bring it to a 1-goal game, and Florida got more bounces, I guess. So
yeah. And then we had the Milwaukee home opener against St. Louis. We weren't sure. So in last season, Milwaukee went through like a 2/3 roster change, and from last season to this season, signed a lot of different players. I don't know what it was like Saturday, but Sunday, 7 of the 16 players were there on their first away game with the Wave, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. After they did such a big roster change last week, I will say I agree with Brad Beach. They did on Saturday night. They did not look chaotic. They looked composed. They had possession. They brought it back when they needed to. They didn't have guys just running around like, where am I? What am I doing? I'm running because I can run. I thought it was a really good possession game, some really good scoring chances. There were some mistakes made here and there, and I mean that's going to happen in indoor soccer. But I don't think anything that couldn't be like you could take it back to practice and fix in a week. Whereas last season, I thought there were some things that were like, oh, holy crap, how do we fix this? No way, we need different people. This year, I think all the right people are there. Highlights for me, Sean Azqueta, aka Squid. I'm going to call him Squid because I can't pronounce his name correctly because skin is more fair than being able to pronounce that name correctly. He was a monster on the field. He was all over the place. Scored the last goal. I think it was the last goal. Alex Steinwasser, younger brother to Javi Steinwasser, he's going to be really good. He's going to be close to Javi level, I think. And of course, our friend of the show, fellow cake lover, unless it's chocolate, William Bonhaney. he was great in net. Couple shaky distributions, but he got the hang of it after a little bit. He got hung out to dry a couple times and some bad passes and some bad headbacks and things like that, but it worked out well. And yeah, the Wave dominated that, so there's that game.
Yeah, it was a definite good first game for Milwaukee to come out of the gate like that. I'll go back to the Utica Harrisburg game.
Hang on, let me post this. I don't know what this means.
It was probably the announce team.
Oh, it sounded like they were losing a livery.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Was it Tom? So Tom Wynn, I've seen him have some coughing fits.
I think one of them was coughing a little bit. I didn't watch a lot of the game because Utica Harrisburg was going on.
Right. Then Brad forgot to get cake. Kelsey was able to bring Brad a treat. And welcome, only 2 weeks and 20 minutes late to the first show of his year, Mr. MJSL. Welcome to the show.
How was he the first night?
At one point, Kelsey asked me how many beers I thought Jay had, and I said 7, and it was before kickoff. So there's that.
Well, we'll get to the game on Sunday, but I'll just say I probably had the equivalent of that before kickoff of the Utica Harrisburg game. Okay, so back to the Utica Harrisburg game Saturday night. Just real quick. God.
Okay, so you can see messages on your phone.
Oh yeah, I can see messages. Yes, we're great. After I think the fog cleared from the Harrisburg arena in the first quarter, I'll be honest, I was kind of nervous. A lot of possession was in the defensive third for Utica. Give credit to Andrew Coughlin for hunkering down and making some great decisions, great saves. And we did just enough to win that game. And playing in Harrisburg is tough. Like, you ask those players, what is one of the not so good? Oh, well,
not bad, yeah.
No, not bad. One of the worst arenas to play in is Harrisburg. And they came out, I mean, a 4-3 win. A win is a win. But a definite night and day from Saturday night to Sunday afternoon, I think.
How much of the field, and not the quality as much as just how much it slows it down being on dirt, do you think affected that game?
I don't know. Like I was telling you before the show, like, I don't think the ball actually rolled on that field. I think there was a lot of bouncing. There was a lot of just like angles that the guys weren't really used to. But like I said, I think Uh-huh. Why don't we just get to the picks? Let's just move on. And now, okay. Whew. Yeah, so that's all I really have to say about the first game. We'll get to the second game in a little bit, but definitely a good first win.
Yeah. All right. One of the games I did not watch, I had to pick one last night to watch, and I picked the other Mexican team. This was Chihuahua at Dallas. It seemed, based on the scoreline, I'm gonna have to try to watch this before this weekend. It seemed, based on the scoreline, it was a pretty straightforward win for Chihuahua, 9-6.
Yeah. Shout out to Juan Gamboa. Great goalie uniform.
He was dressed like a pack of Starbursts.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. And I was talking to his wife in the chat. He got to put his input into the design of that jersey. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So hats off to him. Best looking goalkeeper of the week.
When I saw that jersey, I was like, okay, because they showed it before the season started, and I was like, finally, we're not going to have an issue of the goalies wearing the same things as the refs.
Yep.
That seems to be an issue. I don't know how it seems to be an issue, but it seems to be an issue.
I don't want to. I mean, let's all be honest. I don't think we want to see the refs in that color scheme.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that game. I don't. All I know is I picked Chihuahua to win. I didn't think they were as representative of the first game as they should have been, so I did pick them to win, and they won.
Well, since you're mentioning that, why don't you tell everyone the results of the pick'em?
So, yeah, we'll do the results. So, somehow all three of us got 7-4. Matt, myself, and Hannah all were 7-4 this week, even though our picks were all completely different. This is one of the games that Matt picked correctly. No, that Matt picked incorrectly,
No.
and we picked correctly. There were a couple other games where Matt picked correctly and we picked incorrectly. But yeah, so we all had 7-4. So Matt's 8-8. I'm 10-6, and Hannah, I don't have her picks for the first 2 weeks.
I can pretty much tell you she's in the same boat I am.
Should we just call her 8-8? Just make it.
Yeah, because I think she had the same picks as I did for Baltimore Utica, and yeah, I think she had the same picks as me.
All right, we'll just
we'll just call her 8-8.
Not the 8th of August, Excel. 8 and
I will get you her picks.
Okay.
Tonight.
Okay, just send me in chat or whatever. Bushwhacker, we'll get to that in a second, and then I'll put your chat up on the screen. So that's that game. Next game was Kansas City at Mesquite.
What is Mesquite doing?
Defending. They're defending.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Mesquite defended and then defended and then defended some more. And then instead of last weekend, they threw in some goals in there. What was the final score? Like 5-3, I think?
5-3.
5-3.
Yeah. I mean, Pollo Cortez, early candidate for MVP, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it'll never be a goalkeeper, but yes, I agree.
Yeah, I think, but I think without him, you're looking at 1-1, maybe 0-2.
Kansas City looked a mess. I mean, they looked just all over the place. I don't understand what happened. But they weren't and maybe it's, that they had 4 players out with visas, and Rian Marks, I guess is how we pronounce that now. Rian, if you're out there, I know you watch this from time to time. Please confirm or deny how you pronounce your last name. Marks or Marquez? Because we called you Marquez for the first 2 years of your career, and now it's Marks. Not that that hasn't happened to any other player, Marcelo.
Okay.
Willie B, yeah.
Maybe.
But let's talk about. Should we talk about the game in Mesquite, or should we come back to that?
I didn't really watch. I didn't watch any of it, to be completely honest with you. I think I was. What was I doing? Was I sleeping? I might have been sleeping. So I didn't. Was it? Was the audio bad? Video bad?
Well, they started. They've slowed down the camera angle changes, so they're not as bad as it was the first game. They had a last minute sickness or something where they had to replace their broadcast. They had a guy who sounded like he knew what he was talking about, but kept calling John Sosa Irvin. And then they had Gordo Jago, something like that, who's like some 90-year-old guy who used to be a star for the Sidekicks. That's where my comment of just because someone has a lot of experience playing or coaching or being a superstar in the league does not automatically make them a great announcer. They may have a lot of information and they be chock full of it, but it doesn't make them. And before anyone says, well, what makes you guys good podcasters? If you haven't seen our show before, you should know by now. We have no idea what we're doing. As soon as Matt takes a call from Hannah and wishes her good night, I'm just stumbling over words. I have no idea what to do. But the most interesting thing in Mesquite was towards the end of the second quarter, which is the first half. The clock was right under 5 minutes. It stopped at 4 minutes and 54 seconds. The ball went out of bounds, and the clock instantly changed to 2 minutes. And then they called officials timeout. During the officials timeout, the clock went to 6 minutes, and then right when they started play, the scoreboard was off the screen. So I figured, oh, they're just fixing it. No, it started over at 2 minutes, and then they counted it down, and by the time the clock came back on the screen, the scoreboard, it was at 1 minute 45. So 2 minutes and 54 seconds of that game were just lost completely. And I got the question of, well, is it a sync issue where the scoreboard on the broadcast isn't the same one in the arena? I was told no, they are synced up because someone at the arena who knows a lot about scoreboards and how they work was the one who originally spotted it out and didn't even see it on the broadcast. So I asked the Kansas City Comets fan group, what do you guys think about losing almost 3 minutes of game time in Mesquite, and no one even knew what was going on? I did let head of officiating Ryan Sigurd know. I don't know what they can do about it. I don't think there's anything they can do about it now, but they know, and I don't know. I mean, I've seen.
Maybe they'll give Casey a point.
Yeah, right. I mean, and the other thing was the clock operator kept starting the clock when the whistle blew as opposed to when the ball was kicked. So like first quarter, go look at 3 seconds left. There was a free kick. And as soon as a whistle blew, the button was hit for starting the clock. It's supposed to happen when the ball is originally touched. Yep. Because what they can do is you blow the whistle. They have up to 4 seconds, which sometimes is 6 or 7 or 8 seconds or a minute if you're doing it that way. And if they would have taken their time on it, the clock would have run out and the buzzer would have blown, and the refs would have been like, oh, I guess the game's over. So there's that. That's a big error. And we're here to point out big errors. That's just...
That is true.
So anyway, Casey pulls off, or doesn't pull off, what we thought was a win. Mesquite, I guess we can't call it an upset because they're at home. I don't know.
I'm still not sold. Yes.
Well, there's that.
Hmm?
Next game.
Yes. Both valid options.
Oh, wait.
Oh no. Sorry for your loss, Miss and Mr. Blasty.
Losses.
Losses.
We haven't gotten to the
I
second
forgot.
one yet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So Monterey at Tacoma. I did watch almost all of this game last night, and then what I did is when it got into the second half, I just fast forward until the goals, and I watched a couple seconds up to the goal and that. It was closer than I thought it was going to be, because it was only 5-2 through three quarters, and the final score was then like 10-3. One was an empty netter and one was against their backup keeper that they just kind of threw in at the last minutes and they're like, "Here, go get scored on. We will end the game right now."
Yeah.
Tacoma had some major video lag issues that were annoying, and they were in the replay, so we know it wasn't an internet, like my internet thing. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like Monterey figured out what was going on after their loss in Mesquite and put up a good showing in Tacoma. That's up to
just wait till the next one.
no. Mott will be at one of the Blast games this year. I don't know if I want to mention which day it is.
It's taking everything in me not to change your name to Mott.
Feel free.
We're good.
At this point.
Okay. There was a major issue that I had in the Tacoma game, in the Monterey Tacoma game. And it has to do with the challenge flag, and this is maybe just my misunderstanding of how things work. So Monterey, two defenders are running down the field, and Waltman launches the ball to, Nick Pereira is running down the field. Waltman launches the ball to Pereira, and two guys converge on him. One guy basically goes like this and bats the ball with his arm behind him. Most obvious handball call I've ever seen. The only people who did not see it were the refs. Now, chances are they couldn't keep up with the play because it was a ref that's known to not be able to keep up with the play. But that's another story. So almost immediately, head coach Adam Becker throws the challenge flag on the field. They let play go on for 2 minutes until Nick Pereira finally slide tackles someone to the point where he's just trying to get the clock stopped. They call a blue card on Nick. Nick loses his mind. Then they go to the video replay, and then they find out it was a handball. Then they award a blue card to Tacoma and basically act like the next 2 minutes never happened. So Nick Pereira's penalty never happened. And then even though it was only Nick running down the field with the most obvious handball in a scoring position, it happened like right at the top of the arc, they never awarded a shootout. They just awarded a free kick. I guess my question is one, why did you wait 2 minutes? Well, one, how come the refs didn't see that was a handball? It was so obvious. It was most obvious ever. Go back and look at it. It was in the first half somewhere.
Okay.
Second, why didn't they stop the play at any point when the challenge flag is obviously on the field? It's a giant red flag, not giant. And then
just keep going. Just keep going. No.
it's at this point where Adam and Mott consider life
very
choices.
Kind of you. Very kind of you.
We have 15 concurrent viewers. The only people chatting are The mascots, because
Mascot.
everyone else is probably afraid and wondering what the absolute hell is going on.
If you are not a mascot, please comment something in the chat to kind of
Just not a mascot, not it. I'm here. Save us.
like hi,
would work.
cake.
Cake would work. I like
that.
cake.
Yeah, I don't know. I think something. I don't know what
Jack.
the. Oh, Jackson. Yeah, I know Jackson there. So I don't know the rule of like how long it has to be before they actually stop play, because that's something that happened in the Harrisburg at Utica game on Sunday, where Dominic Francis kicks the ball. They thought it was a handball. They kept playing, and then Dominic Francis literally like bowls someone over, gets a blue card. They go to replay. Call stands. There's no handball, and he gets the penalty, which I get because
Yeah.
I mean, if you overturn it, so they overturned both calls then, right? So the handball call was called,
Right.
and Pereira's blue got rescinded, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So essentially,
that makes sense.
But essentially, oh wait. We got a couple of mascots who love cake, and then we have.
Ooh, well then I guess
Steve, welcome aboard.
Oh, Steve's not going to like my opinion of the game on Sunday.
And James is not a rowboat. And wait, where's Jax? According to laws of the game, the coach is supposed to throw the flag at the next whistle before the ball is put back into play.
Well, they may need a refresher, because there's laundry all over the place in all these.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if they need a better flag that maybe like a dart that could like throw at the ref's head. And if you get hit in the head with a dart, then you get a challenge. Maybe that's how they could do multiple challenges.
And Everton throws the challenge dart, and it lands in Ryan Sigich's jugular. That's probably not a good idea.
So Matt Sterling has been on this the last 2 seasons, and I don't disagree with him at all, because the way the handball rule is worded is wrong. Read this and let me know when you're done with this part, because he has it's 2 parts.
Yeah, no, I'm reading it. Yeah.
Even if accidental, and immediately creates a goal scoring opportunity or scores a goal. So if you have a handball in the midfield, it's supposed to just not be a handball. You're supposed to just be able to do whatever you want with it, according to the way that rule is written.
According to the way that is set up, yes.
Wait, now we're getting somewhere. I'm in.
That's a lot of cake.
Yeah.
I only get bed sheets and something else. You get cake and some cake and a cake.
I get a bed made out of cake. I win. Wow. I win. So,
well, you're gonna have to go to Baltimore. You're gonna have to go to Baltimore then, because.
So Jack says from the video review section of the laws, review can only take place when play is stopped. If necessary, the referee can stop play when it's a neutral area, i.e., neither team is in attacking position. So, I guess they played it by the letter of law, but then does that mean those 2 minutes between the time the foul happened and the time they stopped play, those just get wiped out? Is that where do those go back to Mesquite so they can play the extra 2 minutes of their game?
Yeah, they traded. It was a trade that was done between Mesquite and Tacoma.
Yeah,
2 minutes of time for 2 minutes of game time. Yes,
because I mean, like Nick Pereira's blue card then was waived off because that didn't exist, but yet they didn't go back and like reset time on the clock.
So they didn't reset. Okay, so they didn't reset it back the 2 minutes. Right. That was okay. Well, that's what maybe one thing that should have happened. Everything else sounds good. I mean, the penalty got rescinded. And,
I think,
but maybe that part was missed.
So Matt asked a legitimate question here. But
I hope not.
and back to reality.
Y'all are taking this mascot thing and just run with it. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna say this once. I'm gonna say this once. I'm never gonna make a reference to this again on the show tonight. I hope the guy that is behind the mascots and has like 7 different devices by him right now and is typing as all different mascots at the same time is really having a good time. But I kind of hope he also gets sick of it after a while and we go back down to one mascot. Anyway, back to the show.
I think they're using like the predictor thing. You know, when you have your phone and you start typing and then you just push the middle button like 16 times. That's what I think is happening right now.
I'm on In the Box.
Put some water in here.
I'm on In the Box, and I am, 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 and I am. I'm gonna put this chat on for when you get back. Please hold for water break. Is not canceled, even if the original. That's interesting, Jack.
All right, we're good.
Yeah, you got to read this.
No, I don't.
Oh, this is actual soccer related.
Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's Jack. Hey, Jack.
So according to that, Nick's penalty should have still been upheld, or still should have happened.
One thing, yeah. So they got one right and one not.
Yeah, and actually, this summarizes things very well for my lovely wife here.
Yeah. Yep.
So what happens if? So I get it. You throw the flag on the field when it happens because you want them to remember that time or whatever, and you don't want to hold on to the flag and as a coach ignore what's going on and maybe miss a important coaching thing, like another issue that happens. But what happens if you throw the flag, they're continuing play, they don't stop it because that's the rule, and the other team scores? Then what do you do?
Oh, well, I mean, if it gets overturned, I would imagine the goal gets rescinded.
According to this, it's not canceled, even if the original decision is changed. So then you have a goal followed by a power play from the other team. I mean, I think if they're stopping play for injuries that are not head related, which I think is a good thing. I think as long as it's obvious the person isn't just falling down and faking it, it's a good thing to stop play when there's someone hurt in a spot where they could get hurt more. I think you can stop the game when a challenge flag is thrown. It's only once a game. I don't know.
I mean, it's a new rule, and things are being ironed out. So I would imagine the utilization of them and what happens after them will be fixed in upcoming games.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, it's a rule that's already been written, but it's not a rule that has 100%. There's still judgment behind it. It's not one of those things that say as soon as the entire ball across the entire line, it's out of bounds or it's a goal. And, well, we're going to just make a judgment call on that. That's cut and dry. This is one of challenge flag is thrown. You have to have judgment when you're going to stop the game, when you're going to look at it and stuff like that. So they may, I would be fine if they tweak that rule, or at least gotten the refs together and say, hey, we can't allow things like a goal to happen.
Yeah, because you've got players that like have their arms up in the air. They're going like this. They're like, oh, what's going on? There's a challenge flag. There's this going on. Like,
yeah.
All right.
So that's that game. That's the whole drama in that game. Next game, San Diego versus Empire in the Empire, or is it in?
I think it's the Inland Empire.
But it's still Ontario,
Right.
not Canada.
Right.
It's the Empire, not Canadians. Which
Correct.
no one understood your joke except for me. So the first game, yeah, San Diego had a pretty good hold of this game. It was 8-5 final. Didn't look all that competitive. San Diego kind of controlled the whole game.
Yep.
So I don't think there's much to talk about there.
I think they started ramping things up in the second half.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't need those extra weeks of practice. I mean, they were coming off of a week of practice, and then they had a game.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, first quarter, first half, it was close, but then I mean,
yeah, I mean, it was. That's what they've done. That's their recipe for a game, is you kind of start out and just ramp it up through the whole game, and by the time it gets to the fourth quarter, the other team is either so tired or so worn out, or you found all the little holes in their defense and they just pick it apart and they just finish.
Yeah. Yep.
For that game.
So with that, do we want to go over game 2 of that now?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Let's skip to that. And I have a comment about. I already talked about the back-to-back games being lower scoring.
Yep. Except Utica Harrisburg was not lower scoring; it was higher scoring.
Right. It was the only one.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the only one. Somehow the guys realized they could run normally on that turf as opposed to the Harrisburg turf. Oh,
I'll get to that. Don't worry.
I mean, you guys play beach soccer, but have you played on Harris's turf? Harrisburg's turf. Not Harris's turf.
On dirt horse poop before.
Don't engage the.
No, please, no.
Don't engage the mascots, please.
No, please
don't encourage them. I should put a sign on here on the screen that no, please do not encourage the mascot. I do that. There's some room right above our heads.
Do me a favor. Put up a poll right now. Are you a mascot? Yes or no? just humor me. An actual mascot of the actual team.
Actual mascot. Poll is live.
Yay. Okay.
And it's anonymous.
So,
I will not be able to see who votes. I just will be able to see the number of votes.
And I can't see it anyway. So, yeah, let's talk about the last game of Sunday.
Last game of Sunday, the third since 2019 to end in a 2-1.
And this was in overtime.
This was in overtime. This was in
overtime.
Empire got screwed. I'll just come right out and say it.
What part?
Empire got screwed.
What part? So I don't remember what happened.
Okay, so it was either late fourth quarter or in overtime. Clayson DeLima had the ball, distributed it down to Uzi Tayu, who was running with someone, and it was just the two of them. Uzi had a clear shot at the goal. It was right near the boards. So it was board, San Diego defender, Uzi Tayu.
I remember this. Okay.
And the San Diego player basically held him back, and they called a blue card. There should have been awarded a shootout.
Oh, and they even
He was the last. That was the last defender. He was on the outside of that, so he was going to goal.
Yeah.
That should have been a shootout.
And Craig and Nate even mentioned that. How is that not a shootout? Well, okay, we'll play on.
Yeah, I mean, that game could have gone Empire's way, and it should have. And then we all saw Serta's really good goal in overtime to win, but they got away with it, I think.
Yeah, I was pulling for them. I'm torn. It's hard to be a fan in this league. In the during season more than the off season sometimes, because you want these teams to win or lose. I think everyone wants San Diego to lose because we're sick of watching them win everything. But I'm kind of rooting for them. But I'm kind of like, Empire, get your act together. You got to win a game here. They're on an 11-game losing streak now. They were a sure-in for the playoffs last year, as long as they didn't lose the last 8 games of the season. And guess what happened? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and in the chat, the Twitch chat, one of our good friends, Scotty Fellows, was in there, and he was basically saying it was not a shootout, and I kind of disagreed with it. It had all the makings of a shootout. It was the last offender.
Yeah.
He was going to goal, and there was a foul committed. Which, I mean, it's going to probably be on under review. Which I'm so glad it's back.
Oh no, we didn't. Under review is back. Phil Ivanko and Ryan Sigich, where Phil tries to get things right, and then Ryan explains why he's wrong.
Yep.
Although he got a good one. He got a good one right last week.
Well, so I don't know if it was meant to be there the whole time, but there was a blue arrow in the top left corner of the entire thing.
I thought it was pointing at something for the first couple of replays. I'm like, oh, it's just there. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought that was
like, watch this. I'm like watching that. It's just a patch of grass. There's guys, or turf. There's guys over here. Okay.
But I mean, that was a classic game. I mean, Boris Pardo stood on his head as usual. Clayson de Lima. I mean, that's one of the best tandems in the league. Him and Toth. Yeah, great 2-1 game. Although I think it should have gone the other way.
So 4 minutes ago, I posted a poll. I got James said he hit yes, but he meant to hit no. So with that, it's tied 5-5 votes. At the time I posted the poll, there were 15 concurrent viewers. Then we got 5 of them saying there were mascots, and now we have 10 concurrent viewers.
Interesting.
I do not know what that means. So I'll leave the poll up the entire time and see what it
but if it had gone the other way, Hannah would have been 8-3, and we would have been 6-5.
True.
So,
San Diego fix the no meaning.
That's right.
All right. So next game was Harrisburg at Utica. Utica finally woke up, or was able to run, or the ball was able to roll, or.
Well, I'll tell you a huge difference from that game, or from the first game to the second game. The presence of the hopefully soon to be offensive player of the week, Tim Goldman.
Yeah, hat trick in the first half. Does not happen very often, but I think there were, what did they say? There were 110 goals and 7 hat tricks.
Yeah, it was crazy. But Tim definitely deserved it. He didn't play in Saturday's game. He was getting over a couple things, but came out and he owns Harrisburg.
He got over it all right. Whatever it was, he got over it.
I thought, and it's funny, I saw him after the game, and I'm like, dude, I had you at 2 goals in Harrisburg. He's like, I know, but I came through. I got 3 today.
Make up for it. Tim, if you're watching this, we still want to have you on the show. We just don't know when, and we missed our opportunity to do it preseason. So now we're going to have to work around both our schedules and your schedules for playing and traveling and playing. We're going to try.
We should get him, and the reason why we're doing this show.
Oh yeah. By the way, someone, former player from a team that I'm familiar with, former coach for a team that I'm familiar with, former current coach, former player for a team you're familiar with, and current coach for the team you're familiar with, Mr. Everton, has said he's upset with us because we don't do enough live shows. So my thought was maybe we'll leave this as like a 24/7 stream. You guys can watch me like work and do my music videos and stuff. And then like Matt will show up whenever he wants and just say hi and stuff. And yeah, that's not.
No, it's not. It's not. But here we are, and I don't know what Everton's doing right now, but we're here.
I want to get, and I have not talked. I've talked to Everton, but I have not talked to the other person. I want to get a show before the New Year's Eve game with Jules and Everton. I think that would be great. They used to be teammates. They were teammates on championship teams, and now they're mortal enemies as coaches, opposing team.
Well, so that week, I don't know when you'd want to do it. We can figure it out because there's a game on Wednesday, the Wednesday before.
Oh yeah. I haven't looked. I don't know what's going on the Wednesday tomorrow, much less the Wednesday in 3 weeks.
Well, I'm just letting you know there's a midweek game that week.
Okay. But if it's on a Wednesday, that's okay. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, all we got to do is talk to him. He'll probably
right.
Do it.
And I just haven't talked to Jules. So anyway,
yeah, great. I mean, great effort by Utica. Definitely fixed things in a short amount of time. A lot of passing, and I think we're seeing a couple of candidates for Rookie of the Year, and Milton DeAndrade and Milton Fernandez. Or
you guys have two. You guys have two guys' names in Milton.
No, Milton and Steven Fernandez. Okay. They were teammates in, I think, the UPSL, so they already have the chemistry there. But both of them showed up this weekend. Milton scored 2 goals. I think Steven had 1 goal, 2 assists, or something like that. But I think those are 2 guys that Utica picked up that definitely will be in the running for Rookie of the Year this year.
Nice. All right, and somehow Utica's 2-0 and first place in.
Well, we're 2-1.
Well, 2-0-1. No. 2-1. Yeah, right.
Yeah, 2-1-0. Yeah.
Okay, well, you still have a bunch of points.
Yeah, we have more points than Baltimore. That's all that matters.
Speaking of Baltimore, next game is Baltimore at St. Louis. And you and Hannah both called it St. Louis, and I went with the not upset pick because I thought Baltimore would be a pretty heavy favorite going in, and St. Louis held on and took it to him in overtime.
I'm going to say the reason why, and I'm sure Blast fans will agree with me, I think playing in Baltimore the night before, flying to St. Louis to play a game the next day, it's a little tiring. So, I mean, the score showed it. I mean, 4-3 in overtime. That's not Baltimore. I mean, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they were there.
Yeah, St. Louis also had and I want to kind of talk about this. So we on the show occasionally we will talk semi-negatively about a player. But it's all in mostly fun. John Sosa, Irvin. We think Kevin Ellis may have torn his ACL in Milwaukee on Saturday. And we're not necessarily big Kevin Ellis fans, but I don't wish that anyone. I did hear maybe it's not torn and maybe it's just a sprain. But whatever happens, Kevin, I hope you recover quickly and I hope you're back on the field. Injuries, not a good thing. Now, if he got suspended, that's one thing. Red card or whatever, but
right.
Don't wish this on anyone. That's their livelihood. And without, you can't have your livelihood if you're injured like that, especially if it's we all hope that Kevin recovers quickly, back on the field, get back to on the field.
Yeah. Yes, agree.
Um,
Yeah, definitely a back and forth game. But I mean, in overtime, it comes down to one misplay, one missed tackle, and I mean, Marcel Berry beats the blast.
no, it was Stefan Mijatovic.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it Mijatovic? Oh, Barry had a goal in that
Yeah.
game. I think it was the first goal.
Stefan I actually met on the field in Milwaukee on Saturday night because he was shaking hands and hugging Huffman, and I was like, "Hey, you two back up. We don't allow that. Get away from each other. You're mortal enemies." It's twice I've used that term.
Yeah.
The votes for are you an actual mascot of an actual team have gone up now.
Oh, okay.
Mad, but okay.
All right, sure.
Yeah, seems like a good guy. A great shot to end that game. Joey Zanaboni didn't quite lose his voice as much as he did last week in that overtime win.
Yes.
Or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was funny. Was I listening to that game on the way home? Yes, I was listening to it on the way home. Yeah, with my date, and she was very concerned about his well-being. So
I think
I had to explain. I had to explain the lore of Joey Zanaboni as well.
it's funny because I think it's switched. I think it's gone from what will this guy say next to how Matt Rocchio responds and how he composes himself after one of these crazy lines. Joey, I think that's the.
Does it? Do you wonder if like he says it, and then Matt just mutes his microphone and just goes
Every time, every single time, I guarantee that's what's happening. And one
then
time,
he comes back and he's like, "Oh, Joey."
one time he's not going to mute his microphone correctly, and we're going to hear what he has to say on the air. I started my career out in my early 20s as like a help desk type. Purposely tested our mute buttons every other day or so to make sure they worked, because at one point, doing help desk is rough because people don't listen and people do whatever they want. And I'm like,
Yep.
And the guy says something, I'm like, what the hell are you doing now? And the guy's like, oh, I'm clicking over here. And I'm like, but my mute button was working. It just happened to be him telling me that at the right time. I'm like, so, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the mute button comes in handy when you're working at a help desk.
Test your mute buttons, kids. All right. Last game then actually is heartbreaker, Milwaukee at Kansas City. Now, I see what you did there. Uh-huh. You can come back now. Point taken. Very nice.
I just wanted to make sure it was working.
Yeah, working.
All right,
So the last game, KC at Milwaukee, or Milwaukee at KC. The first thing I want to say is they announced a sellout of 5,821 people. Those are a lot of people in the corn dog line if that was the case. But we'll let it go for now, I guess.
Or they were in line to get Eric Bergerud's autograph.
Oh yeah, maybe.
That could also.
I'm going with corn dogs. More likely.
All right, we could go corn dogs, Jackie. Corn dogs for everybody.
Corn dogs, Jackie. Corn dogs for all these people.
I can't hear that, but I'll listen to that. So, was our good friend Sway in net for the Mesquite game or this one?
Mesquite game, although I don't think he played in the Mesquite. I looked at that, and I don't know if they got it right or not.
Well, like, there was a post of him, like, talking about Kansas City and this, that, and the other thing. I don't know if, like...
Let me look. Kansas City Mesquite. He was suited up, but he did not play in the Mesquite game. And Neto played in the game in Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
So he did not play this weekend, but he was walking around giving handshakes and stuff. I told him I can't really be that proud of him anymore, just maybe a little.
Right.
I could have last year, when maybe a little bit. But, in Milwaukee, I think this was a case of there were a couple injuries. LSO and your jersey on your far right there, Mario Alvarez,
The announcer for
not the Turlock announcer, the other guy, was they were injured. They were supposed to play this. They're going to play this Friday, and then Marcio Leite did not make the trip to KC. I don't know why. I don't know if it was injuries. So there were guys that we just signed that have never played. Troy Morrison hasn't played with the Wave at all. I mean, obviously there's only 2 games. Cutis Lawal, we'll call him Q. He hasn't played at all. Both of them played several. I mean, they played a lot of minutes in KC. And some of the young guys, we got to see Squid some more. We got to see Alex Steinwash some more. We got to see Alex Sanchez more than just a couple minutes at the end of Saturday night game. They're looking good. They're looking promising. I think they gave up maybe a goal here and there. Nothing that was, couldn't have been come back from. But I think this was a case of travel and early on in the season, playing a back-to-back just kind of hit them. They went down 3-1 and then came back to tie it to go in overtime. And then just Lucas Soz. I mean, come on. What can you say?
Top shelf, grandma cookies.
Yeah, right. And that was that. And that was in overtime. Was that on a?
Yep. No, I think that was. I want to say it was just after the penalty.
Yeah, right. But it was as part of the penalty kill. Yeah, it was part of the penalty kill, like right at the back half of it. So you got that like 20 to 30 seconds after a penalty kill where the team still needs to like figure out what's going on.
Get adjusted and everything. Yeah. Yeah, and it was one takeaway, one shot, one goal. I mean, golden goal, it's you make a mistake, the other team can just pounce on it, and they did.
Yep, they did. Yeah, it's the brutalness of indoor soccer, and I mean, not like it was a huge mistake because that shot could have gone past almost any team. But I noticed one of the new guys, and I maybe dove in a little too early, and Lucas just stepped right around him and had an open lane.
Yep.
So that was that. Now, there was something that came up in St. Louis game in St. Louis, the one against the Blarst, that I missed. I said I would come back to it. Bushwhackers. Sunday the goal ball bounced over in the line and called it no goal on you. So there was a shot taken, almost the identical shot to Milwaukee and in KC last season, where it hit the underneath of the crossbar, bounced down, and came back out. And if you look at it closely, it sure looks like there's a goal because you can see green on the other side. There's a couple problems with that. And I'm going to use a World Cup reference. Japan found out real quick how close a ball can be to not being over the line to really being inbounds. Because there was a ball that went out and everyone thought it was a corner kick until they went to VAR and found just like the 1 or 2 pixels in a graphic hovering over the line, and technically that's in. And without goal line cameras, there's no way you're going to be able to tell. Refs weren't in the right position to tell. They went to VAR. The camera angles were the same angles the refs had. They didn't have that over or under or goal line camera that they could have seen a better angle at. And if you're only doing 24 or 30 frames per second, you're not going to be able to get that individual frame back and forth to be able to find out exactly where the ball goes. So I thought it was a goal. Everyone in St. Louis thought it was a goal. The announcers thought it was a goal, and the refs decided there wasn't enough conclusive evidence to overturn the no-goal call.
There's that.
But if it did not touch the line, that means
True.
so. There's that. All right, that's all the games.
You want to pick them?
What do I have to bring up? I didn't think I have anything else to bring up. I think we talked. I think we covered everything else except for the end part.
Yeah.
So let's see. How many games are there this weekend? There are 3 Friday night, the 16th. There are 3 Saturday night and 2 Sunday night. Almost seems like a dead weekend. So we will do let's just write these down real quick. Almost done.
Oh, you're fine.
We need like Jeopardy music or something. Okay, I have them. They are 8 games. Does that sound right? 3, 3, and 2. 3, and 2. Fair excuse.
You know, that description right there reminds me, that first part. I think I know who Bushwhacker is. I don't. Let's just say cleaning my mustache. It's a clear clue.
Is it Gerg? Anyway,
That's what I was thinking.
First game, Kansas City at Milwaukee, Friday night, 7:35 p.m. Eastern. Do not go to sitickets.com for your tickets or you will be ripped off. I haven't mentioned that this show. Better get that in.
Yeah.
Do go all the Wave box office or go to MilwaukeeWave.com for tickets. Hope to get a good crowd. I don't know what the theme is because we already had Christmas night, so this Wave Beat the Comets theme night.
Ooh, I like that. And you know what? I feel in the spirit of that. So give me Milwaukee.
Nice.
I
will also take Milwaukee.
I think it's going to be different than the game on Sunday. And it's a home field advantage for Milwaukee. So yeah, I'll take the Wave.
So the interesting thing, let me bring up the roster from Saturday's game. So both, from what I'm hearing, Marcio Leite should be back. The injuries to LSO and Mario Alvarez were kind of just a let's give it one more week kind of thing. That means there's 2 players extra that are going to be playing on Friday that didn't play on Saturday. And there aren't a lot of names on this list that you would want to take off. When I say this, I'm just going over rosters. I'm not saying anything personal for or against players. But I'm thinking like Daniel Matos and James Weber, who were pretty strong, maybe the ones replaced by Luan and Mario.
Yeah.
Maybe Alex Steinwasser, but he showed himself to be pretty good. Maybe Alex Sanchez because he played that like 14th field player, which doesn't really play a lot. He's more of a in case someone gets injured or in case we're up by a lot or something like that, then you go in and play.
Maybe that Ian Bennett guy.
I think we're gonna need Ian. I think we're gonna need another hat trick. I think Ian scored the most hat tricks of his career against Kansas City. Brad, this is the new theme. Well, for one team, Brad, and hopefully that is the comments.
Yes. Yeah, but we're both taking the wave.
We're both picking the wave. Next game, I gotta make sure this is where I think it is. Live from Corner Sport Arena is Monterey at Chihuahua. Do we flip a coin for this one?
No.
Do we?
I will take Chihuahua.
Do we take the home team because that's what we should do?
I'm taking the home team based off of last year's stats. I mean, Chihuahua was dominant at home.
Yep.
You look at the back-to-back games that they had against, Tacoma and Harrisburg and Baltimore, and I mean, they beat Baltimore in Chihuahua for the playoffs.
Yep.
So I think you have a huge advantage there for Chihuahua. I mean, both teams coming off of great wins against Dallas and Tacoma.
Yep. And Chihuahua didn't lose as many players to Monterey as I thought they might.
Yeah, and we mentioned this last week, and I'll mention it again. I spoke to Christian Segura a few weeks ago, and he said he's more concerned about Chihuahua than Monterey this year. So,
yep. I'm also going to pick Chihuahua. I think we know that looking through chat here to make sure there's nothing I'm missing. We know that there is a I'm trying to say. We know Tacoma, Chihuahua. We know Tacoma is a streaky team. They're not a consistent team. Kind of blew up Empire their first game, and then they lost pretty badly to Monterey. We don't know how good Monterey really is against. It was only 5-2 going into the third quarter. I think if Chihuahua can start the scoring early and just maintain pressure, I think it's going to be a good win. I would think this is going to be a close game, but I would be surprised if there are less than 14 goals scored.
I think this is going to be a very, very high scoring game down to the last seconds.
Yeah, I agree.
It'll be exciting to hear the announcers from Chihuahua again.
Yes, I miss those guys. Still don't understand what they're saying, but I missed them.
Yep.
That one I will have to watch late Friday night.
Yep.
Next game, Mesquite at the Empire. Will Mesquite continue their winning ways, or will wait for it? Will the Empire strike back? Too early to hang up. Sorry.
Oh.
I thought of that today in the shower, and I'm like, oh, I got to use that tonight.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Like I said earlier, I am still not sold on Mesquite. I think Empire. I mean, it's weird saying this three games in, but they turned a corner in that 2-1 should have been victory against San Diego. I think they used that momentum and they beat Mesquite by 3.
Speaking of Empire, I've thought of the joke and I didn't think at all about what I would think of the game. We have been burned a total of 3 games between you, me, and Hannah picking Empire. Although she picked them against San Diego, but picked them against Tacoma and both lost. There are some really, really, really bright spots on And there are some really like, what is going on moments. There's a player who I want to highlight here. I forgot who.
Like, what color are you highlighting?
Gabriel Costa, rookie on Empire.
Empire.
Ridiculous, absolutely absurd mustache, but great player. I think they need more of this kind of player working for them, along with a Justin Stinson, than the post up and wait for the ball and try to hold it and try to get shots, Mo NDI and Frank Tayo. Not that those two aren't going to be impact players, but I think your impact is going to be Mo and Frank feeding the ball to these other guys and having them take shots and score from the.
So you think Empire should trade for Andrew Hoxie then?
Why?
So, because he has a ridiculous mustache?
Oh, yeah. So I will say if they can get, and they're still making mistakes. Empire's still making weird defensive mistakes. It's at home. It's a wake-up call. Jimmy Norberg knows how to coach. The players know how to play. I don't want to be that sports guy that says, oh, the season's really on the line here when it's 4 games into the season, but they need to start doing something because losing can be a way of life. I hate to point this out, but
I mean, geez, you've got San Diego out west. You've got the 2 Mexican teams. So it's not like, and I hate to use Harrisburg, but you don't play Harrisburg 6 times. You don't have a team like that.
Yeah, right. And it's
every game gonna count.
The team that we thought would wind up 7th or near the bottom in the West just beat them last week. I think like losing is a culture, and it's not a good one, obviously, because you're losing. But it's one of those things where if you fall into the rut and fall into it, you can start making excuses. Oh, we had the injury, we had this, or we had that, we didn't do this, we didn't do that, and then all of a sudden you're halfway through the season, you haven't won more than 1 or 2 games. They need to get kicked into gear. Mesquite's not a bad team. They're going to be above average to good. I don't want to use a Brian Ackley thing and just say every team is good because he did that on the MASL Mondays. But
no, I think every team is good. I think, and I'm going to go back to Harrisburg. I think Harrisburg can pull off some victories against Baltimore and some against like St. Louis and things like that. They're an up and coming team. I think that field, I think, could have Harrisburg getting a few wins. Now, that's not to say that they're going to like win out or whatever, but what was I?
Oh, I was going to put this on the screen. Hey, when you put your name on it, actually kind of we did hear it from you. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So what I'm thinking is, and Matt Sterling can kind of attest to this, the last time Ontario played a really, really good game was when they blew Utica out of the water at home. That was the game we were out there for.
Oh, we didn't hear it from him. Read it from him. Got it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I think that's one of the last times we saw Ontario like at its peak.
How long ago was that?
Was it February? It was like late January, February, somewhere around there.
Keeper says I want to do something.
Well, Empire won't lose all the games. They'll just lose the games against teams named Utica this season.
Nice. All right.
I'm making that prediction. I'm making that prediction now.
I'm going to pick them. I'm going to go on a limb and pick them because I think they realize this is what they have to really do to really get going here.
Yeah, I think the West, you're going to have a harder time getting into that 4 or 5 game.
Yeah. They got to start now.
Yep.
So I'm going to pick them with a big hesitation on my mind.
Pick them one more time. Let's do
right.
it.
You pick them one more time, and then you're dead to me. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. There's another game coming up in a little bit. Utica at Florida.
Well, I can tell you who Hannah's going to pick. So, I mean, that's an easy one.
Who will Hannah pick?
Hannah's going to take Utica.
Okay.
Hannah will never stray from her boys in blue.
But it's Florida. I mean, it's like
it is, but Hannah may change her mind for the game on the 28th. But if I know Hannah, she will take Florida or Utica.
I'm gonna do my pick earlier because I don't have much to say. I'm gonna pick Florida. It's their home opener.
Okay, well,
I think it's one of the things like San Diego. I'm gonna pick them until they prove that I'm wrong. I think that's the same with Florida.
Well, this is where you and I are separate ways. We pick the same games for a few, and then we kind of go off and pick crazy stuff. I'm going to take Utica. I think what they showed against Harrisburg, I think that they can, with a few days of really, really good practice, Gordy Gerson hopefully will be back. He injured his ankle in the game against Harrisburg. He told me that he was pretty much good to go. He'll be fine. But yeah, I think this is going to be a lot closer than what we saw last season between the two teams, and I think Utica can win it. I trust their goalies more than Florida.
You know what I did not look up? Who just played goalie for Florida this
year? Navarrete.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, Navarrete was in goal against Baltimore. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Why can't I find this game? Because there were 150 games this last. All of them. Did he play the entire game? Yes, he did. Oh! History has been made. Chris Frederick, the multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar goalkeeper who was signed last season, who wore his gloves through every game even though he was never on the roster, was second goalkeeper.
Wow.
There you go.
I wonder if him and he posted for his 5 million Instagram followers or whatever.
What I don't understand is where Matt Perella is, because they signed him and he didn't play. So I don't know if he's had a few previous engagement
coach that he had to do or something like that. I know he's a coach for like a D2 college or something like that, but
it would be good to see him play again.
I'll be fine with not seeing him play against Utica this weekend.
No, it's not from the YouTube chat. It's actually not from.
Keep on keeping. No.
It's not from the YouTube chat though. But I won't say anything. Bushwhacker has a good question. Who had the best attendance this last weekend? Reported was Kansas City at 58-21. Whether we believe that or not is.
What was Utica's?
You only play one game. 28-73.
Okay.
Milwaukee's was 31-75. St. Louis has had 2 games with an average of 28-03, so somewhere around there. Dallas had 2,000. San Diego had 1746, Tacoma 1512, Harrisburg 1412.
Yeah, I think a lot of Utica's the reason why we didn't hit 3,000. We were in the middle of a snowstorm Sunday, so not a lot of foot traffic.
I don't know what Milwaukee's going to be like for Friday. Friday games are kind of tough. At 6:30, which like what we like to do is we like to go to you were at Goolsby's. We like to get there an hour before they let people in. So we would want to get there at 4:30, and I just can't do it.
Right. Yeah.
We're gonna get to the arena an hour before game time. Hopefully be able to park and deal with the madness of downtown on a Friday evening. And I have bad news for everyone, all Milwaukee fans. This is like a very, very serious moment here. They don't have walking tacos anymore.
Oh.
Matt Sterling says, "Have a good." Talking mascot language.
All right, Matt. You also have a good dot.
Wish you have a good dot.
Can't wait to hear the podcast this week.
That's what he meant to say.
Yeah. So are those all the Friday games? So Florida, Utica's Friday? I thought it was.
No, we got more.
Yeah, but that was a Friday.
Lucy's done coming to the games now. I think we already went into the Saturday, didn't we? Or the thing.
Oh, I thought Florida Utica was Saturday.
Florida Utica Saturday. So yeah, so the next game on Saturday is Baltimore at Harrisburg, and we both picked Baltimore. Next game. Okay.
Baltimore has not played well in Harrisburg recently.
You're right. I agree with you.
This is a tough one.
Is this Baltimore's wake-up call after losing 2 in a weekend to realize, oh, well, our schedule has us playing the same team that everyone's picking the last 6 times. We better get our wins in.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm going to take Baltimore. But at the same time, don't be surprised if Harrisburg pulls off the upset.
Our favorite jabroni is listening. Baltimore has walking tacos, and they are amazing. 3 options: Doritos, Fritos, Tostitos. So the problem with that is they used to have just the regular nacho cheese Doritos, and they were great. Like, awesome. Like, the best. It was so simple because of what it was, but their chicken was really well seasoned, and they had all the things. Now they just have, like, extreme nachos, which they stuff as many nachos into this little thing as possible, so that as soon as you pull out one, it just goes. Poof, it's like a Jack in the Box confetti bomb.
Yeah.
Yay, sour cream and salsa.
So I don't really eat during games. My diet, MJSL. You and I are in the same boat on this. Our diet consists of ice cold beverages.
Okay.
So I don't know if I will be. Since Baltimore's games are on a college campus, does that mean there's no beer consumption? Those were disgusting. Yes.
Were they just like the chips with the cheese with the film over it?
So we went to 72 after the game, and I hyped up these nachos that they have, trash can nachos. So it comes out in this giant aluminum can. And like last year, it was like loaded with everything. I mean, you name it, you could see like everything in it. So they lifted up the there is beer, thank God. Okay, so they lifted up the aluminum can, and you could just see chips. And then all the chicken fell to the bottom, and it was disgusting. Like, it was. She's right. It was.
So the truest statement of the night. I do. I don't know why the YouTube logo is up there. There it is. We went to Goolsby's. I had a hamburger and fries, and then we went to. But Tara only had fries, so she was kind of hungry. So then we went to the game, and I had tacos. And when we came home, I had something else. But normally we'll go to Goolsby's after, and I'll have another hamburger then.
No, so Sunday we got to 72,
I meant beers, but I want to leave bears up on the screen.
Which reminds me, so Utica Comets games, they have $3 beers every Wednesday game. I wonder if that's going to carry over to the Utica FC game.
Oh,
On
you have a Wednesday game on purpose this year.
Yeah. So got to 72. I had three tall beers, and I didn't eat anything. I don't eat before I drink. I don't know. We stopped at a place where we got donuts and Half Moon cookies, which, by the way, they were amazing, and I still have some in my car. But then we got to, Jack, that would be, make a suggestion.
Yeah.
Of course, I had the kids that night, so maybe not. Maybe we'll wait. We'll wait on them.
Anna, do you know how to drive a car?
Yeah, but after that, yeah, those nachos were disgusting. I'm not going to get them again. So
I wouldn't. They had a $3 pretzel night.
I hyped them up. They were so amazing, and then it just came out, and I'm like internally, I'm crying. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah. At least she didn't say anything bad about the games or the blue hair. Katie, what do you think about the blue hair now that you can speak in front of hundreds or tens of on our on our broadcast?
And for the record, that's not my normal blue hair. I can't find that one, so I might have to go to Amazon, or maybe not. I don't know.
They had a $3 beer, popcorn, and pretzel night, and I must have gotten the last pretzel, or Tara got it, or somebody got it in the line. It was like I imagine cardboard would have better texture than. It was bad, but then
or those nachos that I had Sunday.
Did you? So Wave fans, Lucy. Oh, Lucy wasn't there Saturday. Kelsey, did you see the pretzels that they had now? They look like Bavarian pretzels. They were like super thick. And I'm like, I want one of those now.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Walking tacos at Harrisburg are horrible. Ones in Baltimore are incredible. It's like a pound taco in a bag. Took an entire half to eat it. Dave. You're not working hard enough if it takes you an entire half to eat. Saying
I can't wait to go out to Baltimore. I'll have a pillow and bed sheets and walking tacos.
Game was great.
Company, not so much.
Yeah, Kelsey only saw the ones on the wall, which was weird. Because we walk by and food places will have like pictures of their food, but they had actual pretzels like nailed to the wall. Like, are those the ones that are waiting to give to people, or what's going on here?
That's 50% off in the fourth quarter. You get one with the nail. You get to keep the nail.
Or it's like the game with the carnival game with the darts. If you can hit a pretzel, you get it. 3 darts wins or 3.
Or you take your pretzel that you get and you do like ring toss.
Yeah, right.
So you get a chance to get 2 pretzels.
The one like the ring toss on the glass bottles, the one that we had last season, would have broken the glass bottle.
God.
So where are we here? Oh, picks.
I don't know. We're an indoor soccer show from what I've heard, and we were in the middle of something.
We're in the middle of talking about food. It's food, indoor soccer, and cake, and mascots.
And beer.
And beer. You were trying to make a case for picking Harrisburg, but you're going to just talk around and then pick the Blarst.
Yes, I picked the Blarst, but don't be surprised if Harrisburg wins.
Yeah. I could see that. This next game all of a sudden became very, very interesting. St. Louis at Kansas City. They played each other really close in the first 2 games. And then St. Louis beat Baltimore. And now it's Kansas City's turn to be on the second half of a back-to-back, and St. Louis is coming in fresh. Granted, travel isn't crazy, but it's still Milwaukee flew to KC and back. I don't know if KC will fly or take a bus, but I would imagine they would fly.
I heard Melcher Bus Tours was being sent to Milwaukee to drive the Comets players.
He left because he does 55 miles an hour in the left lane.
Right. You just made my case for St. Louis. I'm going to take the ambush, or the ambuns, if you will. Yeah, I mean, going home after a game the night before. Okay.
This chat highlight feature for our show is a really neat one, isn't it?
I'm glad I'm utilizing these edibles now. They're coming into great use.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me St. Louis.
I'm torn on this. I'm really torn on this.
Yeah.
This is this is one of those that could be, I would not be surprised if there was a blowout, if there was an overtime game that went to a shootout, or it was a 0-0 tie through the whole game. None of those would surprise me.
Sorry, one of those things is going to happen.
It's either going to be a high scoring game, a low scoring game, a medium scoring game, or no scoring game.
Wow, you are definitely the Nostradamus of the MASL.
Nostradamus. But
you said it, not me.
I want to take Kansas City, but I can't force myself to type it in. So I think I'm going with you, and I'm taking St. Louis. Only saying upset because they're away.
Yeah.
Next one is equally as interesting. Empire at Dallas. Will the Empire?
No.
Empire is coming from a home game at 10:05 Eastern to on a Friday night to a 4 p.m. Eastern on a Sunday. The travel isn't as bad as I thought it was next day.
Okay, so this is Friday to Sunday.
Yep. Yeah.
This is a good game.
Yeah.
Dallas kept it close with Chihuahua.
I don't know what to do here either. I need to do some research here.
They played last year in Dallas, and I want to say Dallas won a 1-goal game.
Sounds about right.
If I picked the Empire once, I got to pick twice.
Can we wait? Can we wait to pick them until after we see what happens Friday?
Yes, I'm sure. Yeah, our picks will be in before the game actually happens.
So you're picking Empire.
Yeah, I'll pick Empire.
I'm picking Dallas.
Yeah, I figured.
I'm gonna be Geo. I'm gonna be the Geo for tonight. I haven't watched that game. That was Dallas's first game, was it? Yes.
Yes, that was Dallas's first game.
I'm still riding this. Like, I think there's two teams where the players, or there's one team where the players, and there's two teams. I until I'm convinced otherwise, that's kind of where I'm going. But Dallas at home, always played tough at home. I'm trying Dallas.
Okay.
Sorry, you did not spell Mott correctly.
Yeah, it is Mott. Listen, I went from 1-4. I started the season awful. I am now 500. So you can take that little comment right there and.
All right, and the last game of the weekend, Sunday night, Mesquite at San Diego.
San Diego.
I have to pick San Diego here. Mesquite is playing Friday night, so they're doing another Friday to Sunday, but
not as bad. It's only a hour drive south, so it's
yeah.
But I mean, San Diego 5-3.
So so Scotty's picking Mesquite. Scotty, they don't have the scoreboard advantage that they had in case against KC. I don't know if you can really do that. I'm gonna send Kelsey's messages in reverse order of when she typed them.
Okay.
First, bunch of ha-has.
Ha 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 ha. Okay.
Second,
No. Missed.
and third.
Okay.
So Kelsey missed where was it Scorch or was it? No, it was Blarsty was calling Matt Mott. I think he did it on accident the first time, and then it just kept. Then it just...
They have offered us so many things to come to Baltimore. They have offered me a bed and some sheets and a pony something.
Pony dress.
Pony dress. Yeah. And they've offered Adam cake and a bed made of cake and a cake and some more cake and then a lot of cake.
And a cake stand for my cake.
Yes, and a cake stand for the cake. So if you go back and watch this.
I know.
If you go back and watch this, may I recommend Chill CBD gummies?
Right.
Not sponsored. They have gotten me through this show.
Jerry, welcome.
Jerry, yes.
Unfortunately for Jerry, we have a central time zone person and an eastern time zone person, whichever way it happens to show, on the show, and that means our western time zone people are probably getting off of work at the time that we start this show. We do apologize. We've pushed it back from time to time, but then Matt gets all cranky and falls asleep on us.
Well, this week we couldn't really do any other day or time.
Yeah,
because Adam's got a game and things.
If we do a Friday night, then we could maybe make it a little later.
A little later, yeah.
But so we apologize. Jerry, we did talk about San Diego. We thought the first game against Empire was standard Sockers, where they just started out maybe a little slower and just kind of ramped it up throughout the end of the game, and then fourth quarter just took over. Second game was weird for both of us, but I think it's you start your first weekend and then you have a back-to-back right away. I think that was tough for a lot of. There were 3 overtime games that were all low scoring on Sunday, and they were all teams that played back-to-backs.
I'll just say it again. You guys got lucky on Sunday.
There should have been according to Matt and maybe others, there should have been a shootout awarded to Uzi Tayu. And there wasn't. But
blue card was given, but no shootout was determined.
Yeah.
Which I disagree with. But
we both picked you to beat Mesquite on Sunday, coming Sunday. What else about the Sockers? I don't think anything else about the Sockers.
Nope.
What the April? What does this mean? What April 2nd game?
That is true.
Scotty says no shootout.
I know, Scotty, I mentioned you already that you were saying no shootout, and I was disagreeing with you, although I didn't type it in the chat. I was disagreeing with you.
What April 2nd game?
San Diego, Milwaukee? I don't know.
No, the San Diego game is Thursday, March 30th. Is it our game against Harrisburg? No, I'm not as cool as you. I don't know what you're. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. I see what you're saying. Actually, we may be able to do that then. Tacoma, the last game of the season is Tacoma at San Diego on Sunday, April 2nd, but Craig says that game was moved to April 1st, in which case we probably might still be in San Diego at that point. Planning on going out there. We could go to 2 games.
There you go.
I will request that San Diego fans bring the giant corn dog.
They didn't. I was disappointed. They didn't have it last year for me.
Oh,
I don't know
Jerry
if I
says not
told,
officially
I
moved yet.
don't know if I told a lot of people I was coming out there, but
So I needed to do a chat so I can highlight it. Right. We have not.
that was the best, one of the best.
Casey.
That's where I was going with that one.
Nate
Intermission between plays.
Nate Herron, the famous now the Chiefs announcer. Just in the background, is a corn dog a sandwich? Just out of nowhere, just blurts perfectly through, just perfectly through the arena in the great echoey.
Yeah, it's like in the middle of like something. I don't know if it was an injury or a timeout or whatever, but it's like, and Nick and Eric are talking, and then like in between that, you hear, "Is a corn dog a sandwich?"
And the first side has been chosen.
Wow. Okay.
Um,
So here we have to define sandwich. So now he's asking questions in the group.
hey Dave, if you go into the YouTube chat,
I can answer these. I can answer these questions. I mean, I can answer.
why don't you just read them and answer them? I'm not going to paste him. He
Yeah.
needs to do it himself if he wants his name in lights.
I'm going to say this. We should probably like start winding it up because work and things in the morning and corn dog or sandwich. It is meat in between some sort of bread like thing.
Sandwich.
A hot dog is engulfed in not a bread like substance. It is in essence like a flour based type thing. I will also say no. I will say no, it is not a sandwich.
Hang on. I'm going to end this poll. 39% of the people said yes, they were an actual mascot on an actual team. 61% said no.
And now you're getting, no, I know where you're going. Okay. No, I know what you're doing. So to answer Dave Kovaleski's question about where to eat in Kansas City, Joe's Barbecue is 100% a must.
New poll. New poll is up. Everyone see the new poll.
Yeah. What else? Where was that one place that we went with Eric?
Jack Stack Barbecue.
Jack
Jack Stack
yes.
was great. Yeah.
With the corn casserole.
Yes.
Corn casserole is very good.
Is it Peninsula on an island? No, of course not.
Hang on a second.
Okay, bye.
No,
I have
I'm
a
here.
poll up. So far, yes is winning. Six votes in.
Shoot.
What?
Dang it.
Happening. Something's happening and I'm not.
I went to vote in the poll and I voted in the poll and put yes. Dang it. I'm not trying to play both sides. I still think it's not a sandwich. I just hit yes, just as I don't know why, but
Okay. Light meal?
as a light meal. All right.
We need to debate that. We need to debate that part of it. Next question, is a hot dog a taco?
You can make it into a taco.
Is it already a taco?
No.
Oh, yes, you did. No, you didn't. I mean, we didn't do Jersey of the week.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. How about Bushwhacker wants one. How about
Tacos are sandwiches. But if a corn dog's a taco and a hot dog is a sandwich, then wait, no. Corn dog.
All right. Why don't we do this one?
Oh.
One of the pink ambush jerseys.
Pink ambush jersey that offended so many people in St. Louis last year.
Yeah, I know. Such a good jersey. I have like 3 ambush jerseys. I know I've got one of Lucas Almeida, and I forget who else.
Kelsey, I'm not putting that chat up on the screen.
I gotta have Hannah wear this one the 28th. I gotta remind myself. What's the Florida one? That's the signed Florida one. Yeah, all right. We've gone off the rails.
We were on rails.
Well, we were at one point, yes.
According to Google, this is not Kelsey making this. According to Google, so there you go.
Oh, okay.
It was the long sleeve pink shirt the fans hated. So I bought the black with pink highlight shirt last year and did not realize that Aledo or whatever company that is makes jerseys way too. I can't wear it. I'm an adult medium in every jersey I own except for the same.
Tried that one. Fun fact: a lot of these jerseys I cannot fit into.
Yeah.
For example, the Mario Alvarez one over there is a medium.
Because Mario Alvarez is about that tall and you're taller than that.
Yeah.
By the way, 10 votes on the poll and 80% are yes, corn dog is a sandwich.
Take away one of those.
Can't.
So it'd be 70. So it'd be 7. Well, I'm just saying it'd be 70-30.
70-30.
I accidentally put yes.
I can't vote on my own poll, which I feel.
You feel slighted. No,
yeah.
it's fine. Yeah. All right. Yes.
They live on the wall.
Some of them I can fit in. They're just not up there.
Yeah, it's
a lot of them.
Like the only one that I really can't that I can't wear is that same. Here we go.
Yeah.
You know what? We hit
overtime. Overtime.
See, Jerry, I gotta argue with that because eating as a light meal is not fair.
Exactly. I could see, like, part of it is right. Eaten as a light meal.
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Do you have Firehouse subs by you?
Yes. I haven't had one in a while. The only time I had it was when I was in Lakeland, Florida. Not bad.
When I go there, I usually get the large. Like an 18-inch sandwich. That is not a light meal. That barely fits on the screen here.
Yeah, it's fairly big. Yeah, so eating as a light meal, you could eat one all day.
Exactly, Alec. I think those are the people who wrote that are like the people who had like a piece of bread, one slice of bologna, one slice of cheese, and a piece of bread with nothing else. They had horrible childhood.
So by definition, okay, and I'm just gonna say this: a corn dog is engulfed in some sort of breading or something. It is not sandwiched in between. It is engulfed in this. I know a guy that you could send several of those to, Jerry, that lives near you, I'm sure.
If we could only get an address, we could do a GoFundMe to send someone who hates corn dogs hundreds of.
And we almost did that during the All-Star. So I leave you with that. A corn dog is not a sandwich based solely on the fact the hot dog is not between two pieces of bread, but it is engulfed in some sort of batter, if you will. Okay. When's the next time I can take these?
When's the next time I can take these? This episode brought to you by Headaches. This episode of Mascot Mayhem brought to you by...
Well, it doesn't tell me. It just does do not exceed recommended intake. Well, it doesn't even mention a recommended intake.
So it's covering all the bases.
Apparently. So, I'm not gonna do anything. I'll just take my sleep meds and head to bed here shortly.
There you go.
So.
What do you take for sleep?
Hydroxyzine, a non-controlled substance. It works. It works. Is it a cat? Is it Brian Ackley's cat?
No, it was you getting hit with a wiffle ball. Remember that?
Yeah. Well, of course I remember that. It was great. No. That was 2 years ago. That was 2 summers ago.
Yeah.
So the kids weren't big.
Hang on, I gotta try something to make sure this works.
Now, back to them.
Okay, it works.
All right, good.
So I think we're ready to end the show.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for coming out. This was a fun show on a Tuesday night. Corn Dog Sandwich wins by 13 to how many ever that? 69% to 31%. Minus one erroneous click.
It was erroneous. It was an erroneous click. If I could take that back, I would. It didn't say no.
Well, it says 69% yes, 30% no. So YouTube math fails again.
All right. Well, there you go.
It did that before, 61 and 38%.
Yes.
We have one more question for Matt before we go. Dodge Bob.
So I want to steer clear from that as much as possible.
That being another hamstring injury.
Due to the fact that I'm not as limber as I used to be, and yes, I'm still recovering from a pulled hamstring, which I had in March. But if someone asked me to play, I might consider it. But as of right now, I am not playing.
Only worth it if we get video.
Well, the thing is, they're basically doing the same thing. Ooh. Well, it's January. The game or the dodgeball thing's January 7th, so you won't be here for that.
Oh, I'll be in St. Louis for that.
It's the game. I think it's Empire. I think Empire's in town. So maybe Philly. Oh my God.
Yeah, a team with Philly.
Philly, Panda, the Doc, myself. Oh God. Wait. Can you look up and see if the January? I know we play Empire and Mesquite back to back. I want to say Empire is the 7th.
Trying to get there. 7th is Mesquite on the 7th.
Oh, okay. Well, then.
But the 8th is Empire versus Utica.
Well, yeah, I know. I just got them mixed up. Well, that would have been interesting. Well, they could be in town.
They can make a special. You get to pick your team name?
Yeah.
May I recommend the Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah. No, it's going to be Is a Corn Dog a Sandwich?
Is a Corn Dog a Sandwich?
No. You know, I named our team for the relay race. It was Team We Can't Run.
Yeah. Story checks out.
Checked all the boxes.
Right.
We can't run forwards. We can't run backwards. We can hop on one foot pretty well.
Oh, Kelsey's going to be in San Diego.
Like I said, I said this. I don't know. Like if Philly Panda and Jonathan come out and they want to, I will do it with them.
All right. Gauntlet has been thrown.
If not, I am a free agent and was really good in 5th grade.
If you want to fly all the way across the country for a dodgeball game where you may or may not be hurt, contact Matt.
You may or may not even play during halftime.
Right.
See, so they're doing like preliminaries before. So, and plus it's like $60 a team. So it's not even like free to do.
Well, if they fly out there, you're going to have to pay for the team. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, that's.
All right, so I think that's it. We're about to end.
Yeah, so best of luck to all the teams this week, and we don't even know what day we're doing next week's show. So.
If things pan out, our next show will be our Christmas present to you. On Friday the 23rd. Ooh. And by pan out, I mean we don't hear anything. I'm assuming that means we can.
And I will probably have some special guests in studio.
Oh. I don't know what this word is.
Dude balls. Dude ball.
Gary says not Tuesday at 5 p.m.
No, it's not gonna. No, I'm not gonna. No, it's not gonna be Tuesday. It'll be Friday, if all pans out at about like 8:30, depending, and they can stay up however long they want.
Here's what
Henry will probably play video games and tell me about his bowel movement.
Will he get stuck?
He might get stuck.
I missed that.
Or he might fart and let everyone know.
That would be better.
Or both.
Do both. What would be why don't we do this? There is a former In the Box member, new podcast person who has his own podcast thing going on, or whatever we call these video things. Tries to stay to an hour a show. Why don't we do this? If we do a show during the week, we will start an hour later and try to keep it to an hour show. We'll start at 9 p.m. Eastern.
You do know that's not going to happen, right?
Maybe we can make an effort to actually do it. Stay on topic. We'll say, would you rather stay on topic or not stay on topic?
Or have Neto and goal.
Option B.
Option B. All right.
So
let's hear it. All
right. You golf, right? You're a golfer. I know you.
I mean, I try to be.
So this you're setting up your hang up thing. So so this guy says, he's on the golf range and guy comes out, he's golfing, and a guy comes up to me and goes, I found this. Just blew the joke. I just screwed up the whole joke.
Well, that was it?
That was it. I just screwed it up. It doesn't even make any sense anymore. Let's come up with something just
Wait, what I didn't. Okay, sweet.
Okay. Let's start over.
Okay,
we'll go back to the intro video. Picks.
Oh no, we're not starting at the intro. Let's just. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The guy's golfing. Another guy comes up to him and says, "Check out this golf ball. It's state of the art. It has can't lose this ball. It goes in the rough. It beeps. It glows in the dark. It floats in the water, and it's built-in GPS." The guy's like, "Wow, where'd you get it?" And the guy's like, "I found it." I blew the right. Okay, bye.
No, it's fine.
I blew the joke. I gave away the punchline right before the.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay. And
Okay,
good with that. Good night.
okay.